Alright, we are back, and today we're going to be talking about 3 Mandela effects to blow your mind. For those of you who are new to the Mandela effect, I'm going to give you a simplified version of what the Mandela effect is. So the Mandela effect is an unusual phenomenon where a large group of people remember something differently than how it occurred. Who founded the Mandela effect? Fiona Broome. The Mandela effect describes a situation in which a person or a group of people have a false memory of an event. Fiona Broome coined the term over a decade ago when she created a website detailing her recollections of former South African President Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the late 1980s. A few days ago, I actually had a talk with my friend, and we were talking about the Mandela effect, and he asked his mom about Nelson Mandela and when he died, and his mom said that Nelson Mandela died in the 80s in prison. Apparently, that's never been the case. Nelson Mandela actually died in 2013, but a large group of people clearly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in the 80s. Now, I wasn't alive in the 80s, so this Mandela effect does not affect me. But the one Mandela effect, I'm going to talk about 3 Mandela effects today that are a little weird. And the one Mandela effect that really got to me is the JFK one. This one bothers my mind a lot because I'm a very detailed person and I notice the detail in everything. And I'm also a history nerd, so I watch a lot of documentaries on the JFK assassination. And to me, this one was the weirdest. So the Mandela effect for this one is that many people, including myself, remembers that when JFK got assassinated, he was in a 4-seater Lincoln. However, that's not the case. The real car that he got assassinated in was a 6-seater Lincoln, and looking at the video and looking at pictures, it just looks very odd to me and to many people as well. So the Mandela effect is that a lot of people, including myself, remember it being a 4-seater when he got assassinated, but that's not the case. What's really interesting about this Mandela effect is I decided to post it on TikTok, and I made a video explaining the JFK Mandela effect and some proof to back up our false memory of the JFK assassination being in a 4-seater vehicle. And when I made the video, within a week it blew up and it got to 1 million views. And I was pretty shocked because I didn't know it bothers people just as much as it bothered me. And in the comments section, there are people arguing, there are boomers, Gen Z people, millennials arguing about what the JFK car looked like. And in the comment section, the people commenting on my video, there are history majors saying they remember a 4-seater vehicle and they remember studying it in college. One guy even said that they studied JFK in depth in college and he remembers a 4-seater vehicle, and he even remembers a JFK expert coming into the class talking about the assassination of JFK. So to everybody. So yeah, a lot of us remember a 4-seater vehicle, but apparently it's always been a 6-seater vehicle. It's never been a 4-seater. And right now I'm going to post a TikTok explaining why this Mandela effect is so strange. Alright, JFK Mandela effect part 5. Here's some extra residue. Now this is a 1963 Life magazine talking about the assassination of President Kennedy. As you can see in the picture, it shows a 4-seater, and it talks about him being in a 4-seater. Now that's a little strange because in reality, he got assassinated in a 6-seater. Now this is what really happened. The car he got assassinated was a 6-seater, a Lincoln 6-seater. However, this is what many people remember, including myself, and including people that grew up around that time and seen this happen on TV. They also remember a 4-seater, not a 6-seater. Here's a museum showing a replica of the car that JFK got assassinated in. So what's going on? Why do so many of us have the same false memory? Thousands and maybe even millions of us. And why do museums get it wrong? Why do reenactments of the assassination get it wrong? Why do they all show a 4-seater? This is a little strange. So what's going on? Why do we all have false memory? Why is that? Why is this confusing so many people? What's going on? The second Mandela effect that kind of blew my mind has to do with a false preacher pastor by the name of Joel Osteen, or Osteen. So I also made a TikTok video on this Mandela effect, and I asked people, what do you guys remember? Joel Osteen or Joel Osteen? A lot of people in the comments were kind of freaking out saying it's always been Osteen. But yeah, a lot of people were freaking out claiming that it's Joel Osteen, but apparently it's never been Osteen. It's always been Osteen. His name is spelled O-S-T-E-E-N, his last name, Joel Osteen. But a lot of people, including myself, remembers it as Joel Osteen. And what's really interesting, I found some residue and I even made a TikTok on it explaining it. So here's one example. This is a website talking about Joel Osteen. Kanye West walks on water during Sunday service with Joel Osteen. Again, they spelled it wrong. Again, here's another video I found of another person spelling the name wrong. Joel Osteen, like I remember and like many people remember. What's really bizarre about the whole Joel Osteen thing, somebody on TikTok commented on the video I made about Joel Osteen, and they sent me a link to Amazon to one of Joel Osteen's books called Apocalypse Unsealed. And on the cover of this book, his name is spelled Joel Osteen like we all remember it, or like many of us remember it, including myself. However, what's really bizarre about this book is that it doesn't even exist. You can't find it anywhere. One of the reviewers said, "Does this book exist in reality? I can't find a copy of it anywhere. This book does not appear to exist anymore in this dimension. If you can find it, come to the Mandela Effect Investigators on Facebook and share where we can get it, please." And here's another 1-star review saying it's not real. So I tried to look for this book. This book does not exist anywhere. How do you guys remember those marshmallow rice bars being called? Is it Rice Krispie Treats or Rice Krispies Treats? Now, it's really bizarre. Now, what's really interesting about this Mandela effect is one time I was in a convenience store and I looked on the side, where they sell all the candies, and I see Rice Krispie Treats. I look at it and I look away, and then I had to look one more time and I saw that the title of it was Rice Krispies Treats. And I was kind of confused, and I'm like, were they always called that? And I looked it up, and apparently it's always been Rice Krispies Treats. Now, it's kind of odd because Rice Krispie Treats, see, I can't even say Krispies. Rice Krispie Treats were my favorite dessert, was my favorite snack growing up, and I'd always ask my mom, hey, can I have a Rice Krispie treat? Can I have 2 Rice Krispie treats? But I never said Rice Krispies Treats. It just doesn't even roll off the tongue nicely. Rice Krispie Treats is what I remember and what many people remember as well. However, it's always been Rice Krispies Treats or Rice Krispies cereal as well. And even as a kid, I'll always read, wrappers on food and the back of cereal boxes. And I was always curious and I wanted to know everything. And I wanted to know, all the details of the things I'm looking at. So to see Rice Krispies Treats was kind of odd to me. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't even sound right. Rice Krispies Treats. I thought it was Rice Krispie Treats. But apparently that's never been the case. And by the way, if you like the t-shirt I'm wearing, it says defund the thought police. And if you're wondering what that means, the thought police is anybody. It could be your friends, your family, strangers, anybody who tells you not to think for yourself and to think like everybody else. Those are the thought police, and defund the thought police simply means don't listen to them. And if you like the shirt, the link will be in my bio. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you taking the time to watch my stuff, and we're done.